get hot. Hey everybody, we've got a special block and a special guest here. This is Steve from Precision Casting in Salt Lake City, Utah. He is the best casting repair guy that I know of in the Western United States. And we've got our other special guest is an Indian block. This is a very rare block. That's why Steve's here. He's the rare guy that can fix this kind of stuff. And we're gonna fix this block, but look at this problem we've got. Ouch! Oh yeah! This thing had a major catastrophe. You know, when the rod cut loose, I mean, this thing was damaged. Now, normally, no, we would not do this. We'd just get another core block. You know, we'd call up the junkyards and say, hey man, you got a Chevy 350 or whatever it was, and they'd ship us the core. But on a block like this is something you just can't replace. So we call in Steve. Steve, can you tell us what we're gonna do to fix this thing?
So we're gonna start off with taking and removing all the nut and bolt and thread on pieces, dowel pins and whatnot. And we're also gonna come back in and die pin and make sure we get all the ends of those cracks. We're gonna drill stop the cracks before we go ahead and start prepping it.
Now you talking about these cracks, or you're gonna grind those out?
The cracks are coming down through here. We're gonna actually drill it, and then we're gonna grind all this material out so when the heat picks up, it's not gonna grow that crack. Then we're going to take and grind this piece out, remove all the broken casting here, and then we're going to put cast iron back into place by heating the block up to about 1600 degrees, and we're refusing cast iron back into cast iron. So there will be no nickel or brass in this pre-repair. It'll be all cast iron back in here. So when you drill and tap back into it, you're back into virgin cast iron there.
So you're so, you can tell you've done this probably your whole life. You go so
30
fast.
years.
Yeah. So tell me, I mean, obviously this is an art form and you're an artist and I'm not. So when you build this up, how are you going to, you know, because when I weld and I have to cover a hole like this, it's not easy.
So what we're going to do is we're going to machine a piece of carbon and put a piece of solid carbon round stock up in there to hold that shelf there for you. And then as we melt that into place, it's going to fold over on that carbon, and it's going to give us some material to machine as well as grind back in. So it'll give you basically a piece of cast back into it.
Now I've noticed when I run, you know, turbos and stuff, and I'm really boosting them up, and you know, there's just a tremendous amount of heat generated. I've noticed the cast iron actually, it looks like you can see through it.
Yeah, almost transparent in color. I mean, you're talking like 1800 degrees at that point.
And
that's how hot we're to get this block.
The whole block.
The whole block.
And how do you do that?
We build a furnace around it, each part custom. So we're going to take fire blanket and fire brick, and we're going to build a custom oven around it as we build it. And the whole trick to, you know, fusion welding in general is your prep.
But that's where it really comes in, is the prep. Well, we're excited to see that and film you doing it, and you know, can't wait. And I know everybody out there, you guys have been very patient. Steve, as you can imagine, an artist like this is a very, very busy man, and we're lucky to have him here today. So we're gonna get this loaded up in his truck. He's gonna take it to his shop, and we'll keep
on going with it.
Keep checking it out. Thank you very much. I usually wear t-shirts. I know you guys are always seeing me in my work shirt, and I'm gonna put my work shirt on, but I love these shirts. And the reason I love these t-shirts is the material's so good. Not that you wanted to check me out that much, but what I want to show you about these t-shirts that I love so much is the neck, the material, and the length. Now, normally, I wear just a t-shirt to work. But these cut shirts are so nice. My wife got these for me. And I like it because it's got this extra added ribbing on the back of the collar. Doesn't irritate my neck. I hate that when they put that tag right there. I do not like that. And the other thing is, it's the right length. I hate when my t-shirt's riding up above my belt. And the material, the weight of the material. So look, if you want a really good t-shirt, they make great pants too, but if you want a really good t-shirt, click on the link below, type in Dave20, you'll get 20% off, and cuts. It's a t-shirt I wear, they got great colors, and I love them. It's the only t-shirt I wear. Steve, good morning. You got some stuff in here. Hey, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, sir. How you doing?
Good to see you. You didn't have to take that glove off. How are you?
Good.
It's an exciting day. Finally, we're back on the Indian block. This is one of the first things that I put on our social media, and it's been a long time. The guy's busy. If you'll look around his shop, he's got some crazy stuff here that he welds, and it's hard to get him to do things. Okay, let's die penetrate this thing. Let's do it.
All I'm really concerned with is the main area of damage that we're talking about here. Obviously, you don't see anything on the water jackets or on the face, so you guys would have told me about that in your machine to clean it out. It's mainly just this area here, and you see, you can already start popping up the cracks.
Yep. Boy,
it starts
really
showing you all the cracks.
Yep.
Then we'll let this sit for about 15, 20 minutes, then we'll come back to it and see what you got.
So I'm putting developer on now, just so I can give it a white base with a red MagnaFlux iron particles that you put magnet to, and it shows the fine particle, shows the crack. So what I'm doing now is just putting residual on there and double checking.
Yeah, we're gonna take all that out.
Showing a little PPE before I start grinding.
Yeah.
Just one of those things, yeah?
Yeah. We want to be safe, because I tell you what, people they will call you out for that stuff.
Oh,
dude.
I don't like to breathe it, to tell you the truth. You're in the chest of this block. You gotta make sure you got it all right before you put it back together.
I call that the 4 C's: condition, cause, correction, confirm. In between our corrections, you know, as we go do the process, and you guys do this when you're working on cars and stuff, you're confirming this step. So that's what we're doing right now. We're gonna confirm this step of, you know, have we got all the crack out of there before we start welding? Because, you know, if we didn't do that and we started welding up, and then we checked at the end of the crack, we'd want to be like, oh my gosh, I should have checked for cracks before I started this business. We still got to go a little more here, huh?
Yep.
So we take this all out in here.
Gotta let it soak for about 20 minutes, half an hour, and then come back to it. So while I do that, I'm gonna start pulling my dowel pins and anything else that kind of screws onto it, studs, etc.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine they've been in there 30 years. What do you think?
Longer than that. Yeah, this thing's as old as me, man.
That's pretty cool.
You beat on me, I just go brittle. I just snap off.
Right? Only so much abuse I can take. It doesn't
I'll tell you a little trick, and you know, you probably already know it. Take some of that grinding dust you have in there. I use valve grind compound, and I put the valve grind compound in there, grips it.
Really?
Yeah. I get to teach a master a tip. That never happens. Look at how nice this prep is. I mean, when we started off with that, it was impossible. It looked like it couldn't be done. And so we're gonna build this material up now. We've got to get an oven built around the block. Steve's going to do that for us. We're going to come back out on Monday morning. This is his oven over here, these white sheets. Okay, we're going to see the magic happen, man. I like that, dude. All right. One of my many questions is, I'm so curious, if you all out there wanted me to go do field trips in different shops, I think I'd start doing that. I love it. So you let me know if you guys really would like me to start going to shops like this and learning how they're doing things that are so interesting. If you say, enough of you say yes, I got a new job. Final day, we're welding this Indian block. We've prepped it, and now it's time to get hot and get at it. So we're gonna go in here and watch Steve work his magic. The guy is an artist, and it's very rarely that you get to see up close how this is done. So come on, let's check it out. You are a patient man. Your wife never tells you you're not patient, right?
She always tells me I'm not patient.
Really? I can't believe that, dude. You got to tell her you're wrong, honey. You should see what I do all day long. It's nothing but patience.
And that's exactly what this teaches you, is patience. When you give it about 10 minutes, it's kind of acclimate, normalize, and I'll start on the other side.
Okay. We're going to take like 10 minminutes off. We're going to let that kind of settle, and then we're going to readjust the oven and hit that main bearing. That's the one that is going to be incredible. We're going to take a break and have a bagel right now. When you come to another guy's shop, bring donuts or bagels, snacks, and a good toilet. Remember, you'll go a long ways if you got those two items.
You got straight to my heart there with the raisin bagel and strawberry. That's the way to go with that.
Yeah, how many guys you got here? 12 to 15, depends on the day.
Yeah, we got 15 guys on payroll.
Wow.
I got 3 machinists, 4 welders, and the rest of our laborers on blank.
You know, in a shop, if you don't have good men, you're just one busy guy.
Oh yeah.
You know, and you can't do it.
But yeah, it's great. It's welding really nice. Good cast iron.
Good cast iron. Okay, so here we go.
So right up here is where I had that backer in there. So now I put that carbon in here. Now I folded that whole corner. Now you can turn that whole entire register like we were talking about yesterday.
And look here, these big round black things here, pure carbon lugs, so they won't burn up. And he'll use that as a bridge as he builds this up in here. Wow. Hey, good morning. It's 2 days later. This motor's been buried in its oven for 2 days, cooling down slowly, which is so important. Remember, cast iron, we are always worried about carbon migration, and we don't want that to happen in our core, any of that carbon to shift. We want it to stay just where it's at. So we've got to not only heat it up slowly and keep it there while we're welding, but we got to make sure that we let it cool down proper. So let's go unwrap our present. So yeah, we're gonna unwrap this thing. Still a little bit of heat in there.
Yeah, it's still pretty warm. This morning it was 150.
I know this looks like a big old piece of slag, but that's how it's done. We're gonna grind all this out, knock these carbons out of here. That's crazy how that's kept heat in there.
I'm gonna take it over to our horizontal mill, and then I'm gonna face this off, make sure that the bond line is good, and that we're gonna have enough material to clean up. And then that'll also give us some room to be able to come in and scribe our lines on this face.
Basically take this whole thing and re-sculpt that, and then I'll do the fine machining on it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
We can lift it over here, dude.
Now we're gonna get a dial, and we're gonna put it on there and make sure we get everything dialed in and square to cut it.
What we're gonna do right now is he's gonna rough all that slag, get all that off there for the most part. Right now, he's zeroing the block because he wants that block, he wants it to be straight, so as he goes back and forth across this, we're cutting level with the height of the mains here. We're gonna let them keep doing their rough cutting on that and then grind out, and then we'll get the block back and keep going on it. That'll be part 2. Getting good.